And you want to fade in or fade out too after they get that. No, we need this disclaimer to start. Okay, so this is the U Show. I think we started already. And I have a fabulous person here, Barbara Fairfax.
Thank you. Hi,
And
Lynn.
there you go. You can see us there. Okay, so we were going to talk about a topic that I love is music, but the power of music, the power that it has over people. Maybe I've even seen in a medical book, alternative medical book, that music can cause some kind of healing. Oh my goodness, my hair is out of my hat.
There's a Mozart effect, a book written by Don Campbell, and he talks about how music can affect the body, the mind, the soul.
The name of the book is?
The Mozart effect.
The Mozart effect.
By Don
Okay,
Campbell.
tell me about that, because that sounds just like exactly what I'm talking about.
Well, he talks about he had a bump on the head, and for 3 weeks he saw flashing lights and had increasingly horrible headaches. So he finally went to a doctor, a neuro-ophthalmologist, and they did an MRI, and they found out that he had a blood clot. So they sent him to another hospital, and he had 3 options: wait and see, have surgery, which they would have to remove a third of the skull of his head, the skull.
I like wait and see.
Right, wait and see, since he'd already gone 3 weeks with this condition. Or they could admit him to the hospital for maybe 6 weeks and administer drugs to try to dissolve the clot. So and he was maybe in his 30s, and he said that since he had gone 3 weeks and nothing had happened, he needed to do something other than, he didn't want the surgery, and suddenly now his life might be coming to an end.
Oh my goodness.
So he started humming. He contacted other musicians.
Oh, I like that.
And he started humming, and he concentrated about the area in his brain, and he went back maybe 3 weeks later, and when he first was diagnosed, the tumor was 1.5 inches.
I need his author's name again.
His name is Don Campbell, and the book is The Mozart Effect.
Okay,
just like
Don
Campbell. And when he went back
Mozart
3 weeks
effect.
later, after this humming and concentrating on this spot, this area in his brain where the tumor was located, it had dissolved to 1/8 of an inch.
I want to know what he was humming.
Yeah, you have to have the right note.
Oh, wow.
You have to
That's
have the right-
amazing. But I believe it. I absolutely believe it, because I believe in, like, natural things can help you heal in some sort of way or whatever.
Absolutely.
And so I want to know from you is like, so you're into music, you're a wonderful entertainer, singer, performer. I know because I've heard you.
Thank
and,
you.
I want to know, how'd you get started like that?
My grandmother, God rest her soul, she, as a child, there was always jazz playing in the house. And so I just would hum it, and then after a while, maybe when I was about 5, she would say, "Sing me a song, Barbara." And the first song that I learned going to church was "Yes, Jesus Loves Me."
Oh no!
Yeah, "Yes,
I
Jesus
love
Loves
that
Me."
song.
And and it's still one of my favorite songs. If I'm afraid
Oh
or
yes.
I will hum or sing "Yes, Jesus Loves Me." So that's how it started.
Okay.
And because once I got involved in the church singing, and then she gave me music lessons, and my father inherited a piano, a upright piano, and so I played it all the time. And she eventually gave me music lessons. She sent me to the Cleveland Music Settlement. And I took piano, organ, I took a few voice lessons, but...
So I want to ask you something. So were you taking all these lessons and all, and she sent you here and there, and as a child, because we all see it on TV where, like, children get the lessons and they're like with the violin, and they all got this look on their faces like, how long do I have to do this? How did you feel as a child as you were taking these lessons?
I loved it. I loved it. In fact, I played the piano so much that when we first got it, my mother put the piano in the living room, and then she moved it to the den. And in those days, now I'm going back some years now, we had a coal bin because we lived in an apartment. There was a coal bin, and my dad had someone shovel all the coal out of this bin, and they moved the piano in there. My mother would make me go outside, and I would sit outside, wondering when I could go in the house and play the piano. I love it.
So how long ago did you start singing in public outside of the church?
I first started singing when I was 12 in middle school or junior high in those days. And my first song was "Oh Danny Boy."
Oh no.
And then What happened?
There's songs that just bring you to tears.
Oh yeah, and and then I was in competition. So when I sing, I visualize what I'm singing about, so that it's effective. So that I'm telling the story, but instead of just vocalizing it, I have to put music, and the voice is an instrument. So
okay, I'm gonna do something which
I
shouldn't do. All sense in me says don't do it, and then I say, you've been doing TV for 15 years, and, well, the reason you do it is because you want a voice, and I want a voice. And when you said, oh, Danny boy, the tears could come from my eyes, because this is January, and I told you January is my birthday month.
Okay.
And all of my life, I've never really told anybody, well, it's my birthday, January is my month. I've never said that. I mean, practically they've forgotten my birthday most of my life. Oh. I just started this recently. It's an old lady. The reason I started it was because January, a while back, my brother, is this okay if I tell you this?
Sure. My
brother shot himself. And his middle name was Daniel. And so when you say, oh, Danny boy, when I hear songs like Elton John has a song, Daniel, my brother. And so from going all my life of not paying any attention to my birthday at all, he shot himself in January. And because I am a survivor of many different things, I am always determined to turn things around, to make things a positive thing. And I know you can't make it. You can't make a positive thing out of someone. I cherish my brother. He was the first baby that I ever held in my arms. I was 16 years old.
Oh, yes.
And I have tons of pictures of me holding him, taking care of him. And so this is where I'm talking, and I have to stop because you're the guest. But
you wanted to ask me something. You said you shouldn't, but what do you want to ask me?
Yeah, well, I just wanted to tell that quick story. Well, the turning it around, and then it's music. It's so what I did was after he shot himself, I'm determined to make sure that January is not the month that my brother shot himself. He did it, it's done, and it was the month. But as we go on, we're celebrating January as my birthday month. I am reclaiming January. I've been reclaiming it for a year or two.
Okay.
And I've reclaimed it as my birthday month, and the audience, whoever is watching, is probably sick of hearing that. But because you said, oh, Danny boy, I just can feel the tears, and it just reminded me of my brother. Not the song, but just hearing Daniel. So what I want you to do now is say whatever you want to say, because I'll just blab forever. So talk and tell me all about the good stuff and the power of music. And
okay.
How has music changed your life? And just tell me whatever you want to tell me.
My God. I have always been a musician. When I was in heaven, I was a choir mistress.
I knew it. I knew it.
I was born to sing, and when I try to do other things, it never works out.
Because you're meant to.
Exactly. I mean, I've been singing forever, and a couple years ago, I said, you know what, I'm tired of singing, and I want to do something else.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I wanted to do something else. I'm like, okay, what are you going to do? It's like, okay, let's see. At the age of 50, I graduated from Empire State College with my degree in music and human development.
That's so great.
Yes. So, but it didn't work out. As a matter of fact, I met a woman named Marlene Schuss, and she heard me sing Misty by Earl Garner, and she asked me to participate in the New York State Senior America pageant.
Oh, wow.
So I did that.
That's fabulous.
Yes, I did that. I came in first runner-up for Miss New York State Senior America.
Look at that, and I had no idea.
Yes. And then that led to, I sing with 3 other bands. Now I have my own band.
I like that. So do you have a website where we can go and maybe hear you sing or get information about music or anything?
If you
what kind of a website do you have? What is it?
Oh, well, if you look on YouTube, I don't have a constructed.
So what is the name on YouTube?
Barbara Fairfax.
Okay.
My name, Barbara Fairfax. It's on YouTube and also on Facebook.
Okay.
You'll see some songs where I'm in competition.
We can see you again on YouTube and on Facebook. That's fabulous. I like that.
Right.
That part about, you always try to do something else. I've gone that route too, but you always just come back to where you're supposed to be. It's like.
It's like with you. If I were thinking about quitting to stop singing,
Yeah.
and you just out of the blue called and invited me on your show. Last month I was on Naomi Joy.
Yeah, you told me about, tell me
Naomi
about
Joy.
that.
She had heard me sing somewhere and invited me to be part of her music.
And that's a radio station?
It's a radio station, and it's out of Long Island University, CW Post. And we talked about, again, how music affects people's lives. It has been such an incredible, wonderful journey. I hum and don't even know that I'm humming. When I sleep, I hear music. But I wanted to tell you about, we were talking about the power of music.
Yes.
I've sung, as I said earlier, for years. I've been a singer. And people would always say to me, "Oh, Barbara, you sound so beautiful. Oh, I just love your voice." And it's like, okay. Sometimes, you know, people say things to you and they just want to say things to you.
Yes, I know.
So I figured that was, you know, it was pretty much like that. But then my grandmother at the time was 87 and she became ill, very ill. She later passed away, I think 10 days later. So I was talking to her and telling her some things that were going on with the family. And it's amazing how death can separate families. So I was telling her, not knowing that she could still hear. And the nurse said, well, you know, the hearing is the last thing to go. So can you sing or can you read her a story? And I'm like, oh, heck yeah, I can sing. So all the alarms had gone off. So that's why the nurse, the ICU nurse had come in. All the alarms had gone off and she had this frown on her face. I'm like, oh my God.
Oh my goodness.
So when the nurse asked me, could I sing? So I said, yeah, I can sing.
What did you sing?
I just, whatever came to mind, I just started singing.
What's your grandmother's name?
Celeste.
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 A heavenly name.
Yeah. Oh, she was sweet. Wow. Sweet. She was all about love. She never said an unkind word about it. You know. So I started singing, and all the levels, the bells and the whistles, they went off. The blood pressure, everything lowered.
Oh my goodness.
So then it was okay. Well, I'm going to keep singing.
Yeah.
So that my grandfather finally said, "Barbara, let her go. Let her go." I mean, she wasn't going to be. She wasn't going to recover, and she was 87 and still wore 3-inch high heels.
Oh my goodness!
Her hair was more blonde than mine.
Oh my goodness!
So
young at heart.
Exactly.
That's it.
And then that's when I saw the power of music.
Okay.
I saw how it can affect you and bring about a peacefulness.
Yes.
And a calmness.
You know what? I have used music. Okay, secrets on TV.
Oh yes.
It's like a big secret, right?
Yes.
I've used music my whole life, between music and lyrics. I mean, I'm not a singer. I don't sing. I don't have a voice. But I know that a thought can change your mood. A thought can change your life. A thought can change your attitude. So I have always used music from the time I was like 4 or 5. It's like when I told you I would tisk it a task it. Oh, I was like, that brought me back so far. I heard you singing that. And I've always used it. And I actually started television 15 years ago. I started doing community television in another studio. And I started for different reasons. I had like 3 or 4 or 5 different reasons. And one of the reasons, which I never told anybody, now you know, is because I use it as my medicine. Me producing television, I use it as my medicine because what I get from that is, depending on the show, if I'm talking about child abuse or domestic violence, what I get from that is I am giving myself a voice, and I'm giving other people a voice, and I'm allowing other people to hear about serious topics. If I'm doing a show about music, whether it's cheerful music, it's like that puts a smile on my face. If we're doing a show about anything, comedy or whatever, so it's like, you know what? You made me smile today. Every time I hear your voice, it makes me smile because I loved hearing you perform.
I'm surprised you have all those songs in there. Taping.
I have a few. What I do is on the YouTube site. It looks like it's the same video, but I'll start it at a different place. Like one YouTube tape will be like 6 minutes, and it might be a little bit of the festival, and then you'll start singing or whatever. There's even a part on there when I sing. It's terrible, but this is what I mean. I was telling Barbara at the beginning that I don't shut up. You got to put a mic in my hand. I'm like, they had, I don't know if you remember, at that particular festival, they had the United States Marines were giving out free hugs.
Right.
And they had the sign. And as the music, it was right across from your stage there. And I saw them, and they were like having the sign dance, free hugs from the United States Marines. So even while some of the music was still playing, I walked over to them. and I love the Marines and I love veterans and all. And they were all seniors. They were retired Marines.
Right.
And I said, "What's your favorite song?" Because I'm into music. You know, it's like I just came from singing. I'm like, there they are giving hugs. I'm like, in my head, I'm thinking like, oh, where's the music? So one of them said, "God Bless America." So I said, "Could you sing that?" So it was like they didn't want to sing, and they got another one. They started singing "God Bless America," and I started singing with them.
Oh boy.
Which I shouldn't have done, because if I ask you to sing, I should not sing with you. But I just feel like, music just changes your attitude, changes everything. But I want you to talk, because I need to shut up because I talk a lot. What's the most important thing you'd have to say? If this is your television show and you got the audience, because people will see this, Time Warner, Spectrum, Verizon, they have like 440,000 subscribers. So anybody who has a TV set can turn it on. And if you're watching any other channels, you could flip on the commercial and see if we're on. Because this show will definitely air on Saturdays once or twice. It'll air one Saturday at 12:30. I don't know which one yet. But it will air during the week at least a couple of times besides that.
But you know what? You said that you can't sing, and it doesn't matter. It does not matter whether you can sing or not. That's right. Yeah. I also teach music. I'm a choir director at St. John's, the Evangelist Episcopal Church.
Okay.
No, not the Divine.
I've been there. It's so huge.
This is a church in Lynbrook, and there's this one little girl.
It's not in Manhattan.
There's a little girl, and she says, "Oh, Miss Barbara," because children and youth, I tell them, call me Miss Barbara. We are not friends, and I'm way up here and you're way down here, age-wise.
I understand.
So we keep it real, Miss Barbara. And she said, "Oh, Miss Barbara, every time I see you, my heart sings." And then she drew a little picture of a little girl and me, and I guess we're supposed to be singing. We're holding hands, and she gave that to me maybe 20 years ago. She's now grown, and every time she sees me, she says, "My heart is still singing," and it just touched me.
Because it's so important, and for parents who are watching, it's so important for children to have music. Because we see in the world today, you can watch the news and you see what's happening to kids, to teenagers, to older than teenagers. I'm like, see my hat, my gray hair is all sticking out. But music is so important to them. It's important if you have a kid that they should have, quote, a hobby or a study, a field of study.
Right.
Not just, yes, reading, writing, all that stuff. That's good. You need that. But they actually need music, art. They need to be creative, because it is the creative part of them that is allowing them to speak. Because that old saying, children should be seen and not heard.
Oh, yeah, I heard it.
Everybody knows that children should be seen and not heard. But the thing is, a child will never be silent.
Right.
You can try to silence a child, and a child will never be silent. I'm proof of that, because when I was a kid, I had somebody telling me, "Shut up, don't talk." And I didn't talk much at all, but I was silenced. And at my first opportunity, I thought, I need to be a reporter or a TV reporter. Or I went into photography. I did like 60 photography art exhibits since the 90s. I mean, I've been to the White House. I've been to the mayor's office in the past. So if you try to silence a child, guess what? It's only temporary.
Right.
So now I've been doing TV for 15 years, and somebody is still telling me, "Don't do TV because you don't get paid." And I'm like, so I said, finally, after years of this, I said, I do it for the voice. And now they're running around laughing at me. "She does it for the voice." I'm like, I'm happy. And I'm happy I heard your voice.
They don't understand. They don't understand. You teach
children that is most important. That is magnificent. Absolutely magnificent that you are allowing them to share their voice and train their voices.
Right.
To someday they're going to be little stars or big stars.
You know what? My granddaughter, she's 2. She just turned 2 years old. And
is she singing?
She's singing.
Okay.
And I have 3 children, and when I carried them, I sang. This was even before Mozart effect, or they did any testing to say that that the babies can hear in the womb.
They can.
Even before that, I just sang all the time. So, and I'm sorry, I have 4 children, 2 girls and 2 boys. That one I forgot about. Sorry, Tosh.
Say hi to all of them. So the show will air in Staten Island and parts of, sometimes, I'm not sure, but sometimes I have had a few shows air in another city, in Brooklyn, New York. I can't guarantee that right now, but definitely, I'm working on that.
Okay.
So I like that. I absolutely like that. Okay, so it's your show, and what was that? Oh, did we just put a light out? What happened? Did you see the lights flash?
Was that lightning in here?
No, it was one of these lights. Okay, so you have an audience, and it's your show, so what would you be doing now? It's like, we have 10 minutes. We have to do one thing. Yes, we have to do one thing.
Okay.
Robert, could we I just want to let them know that this is produced through the facilities of Staten Island. Do you have that the flowers thing, or you just flash that once and make sure I get that done and over with? We still have like 9 minutes to the show, 9.5 minutes. That's great. Okay, so now we can get back to business. So we showed that.
Okay.
And they give us certain things we have to do. So that's what we have to do. So what do you got to say?
I think that everyone should find their voice, whether it's speaking like you or singing. It brings out, we all have a child in us. Although I don't care how old we are, there is a child that lives in all of us. And when that child is allowed the freedom to express itself, it can be through music, dance, art. If you look in the Bible, and the Hebrews walked around Jericho for 7 days.
Tell that story. Yes.
7 days, and on the 7th day the walls fell down. It was through music, and the people inside this fort, they were like, "What are these people doing? What is wrong with them? With all this
singing a song."
There's a song. Joshua, is that Joshua fit the Battle of Jericho?
And on YouTube, they got the Marines singing that. It was so powerful. Right. Somewhere on YouTube it is. Wow, that's really, okay. So what else? Tell me more. Oh, wait, your site. We were going to say your YouTube site. So you go to YouTube and you just put a search for your name?
Right.
Okay.
And it'll come. YouTube.
And also Facebook, just put a search
my
for
name
your
in.
name. And we had your name on the screen before. Your name is Barbara Fairfax.
Right.
For those of people who just tuned in.
And if you see anything that says Barbara Ella Fairfax, that's also me as well.
So Ella is your middle name?
Right.
I
the
like
guys
that.
in the band, they
Makes
said,
you
"This
think
is
of
our
Ella
own Miss Ella."
Fitzgerald.
I hear it all.
Okay.
And you know what? In the beginning, I didn't like to be compared to her, because when I first started listening to her, she did a lot of scat. And I don't know if that was because she forgot the words and just threw out the syllables, or if that was just her style. But then when I listened to her, she is an incredible, the first lady of jazz. So when people say, "Oh, Ella Fitzgerald would be so proud of you," it's like, whoa, thank you. That is such a compliment.
I was thinking about that because I know that your name was Ella.
You too, okay.
And what I was thinking about is, nobody wants my opinion, I'm going to give it anyway. I thought, you know what? You don't need to be compared to anyone, because you are the best you have, and you're just perfect the way you are. So it's like,
thank you.
But you do remind me of singing is beautiful.
And that's what I tell others. Don't compare yourself to me.
Right.
Don't compare yourself to me. Don't be afraid to sing because you heard me sing. We all have our own gifts and talents, and that's what you celebrate, what you have.
And I have to say, because I have seen your singing in the concerts, it's not just singing. You know, a lot of people can sing, but you are a performer. You have that. You come out and you have that confidence. You know, like there are people who can come out to a mic and say like, blah, blah, and start singing, but they don't have that whole air of just being a performer. And that's what I like about you. It's kind of cool.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
So what are you going to tell your audience?
And this is what I love about you. You are so comfortable with that mic.
The microphone.
You know.
See, I told you I need the window, and then I'll go like that. You can't hear me. In the mic.
No.
Go ahead.
No, I am thrilled and humbled to be on your show. I'm very flexible, so invite me back.
Great. And you know what? And I would love, seriously, because I do a different type of show here. In my show, I know it's silly, but I aim to be imperfect. I'm just like, what you see is what you get. But I would love it. They have a Studio A over there where they do the polished music shows.
Okay.
And I would so love it if they would invite you in there one day.
Okay.
And you would be part of, some kind of a musical show in there. I think that would be fabulous.
I say yes.
I mean, if I was in charge, I'd be like, come on, we're going to do that.
So
I definitely would, I'll introduce you to whoever's in there.
Okay. And you have a demo of me right there.
Yes,
so
we have you. I have you on YouTube. If you want to see her, you can go to her sites. You know her name. And on YouTube, the name of my YouTube site is not the name of the show. It's this You Information Show. it's email Linda. I wanted to give it something that people could remember and type easy. So it's all small letters. You know, some people just aren't typists. So it's all small letters. So it's
email Linda?
The word email, E-M-A-I-L, and then L-I-N-D-A, no spaces. Just email Linda. So when you go to the YouTube, you put email Linda. And the first one, pretty much usually the first one to pop up is our site on YouTube.
Okay.
And what else? I got to stop talking now because 4 minutes. Go ahead. You got 4 minutes and 54 seconds. We'll just have to put that produced on at the end there. Is there anything else we need to put on? I'm not sure. I don't think so. I think we covered it all.
Okay.
You got
well,
it.
let me just say a little bit background information about me. I'm from Cleveland, Ohio.
Okay.
After my grandmother passed away, I was so brokenhearted that I moved to Germany and became a famous gospel singer. I sang with the Robert Jackson Gospel Singers.
Wow. Keep talking. I'm going to see what I could do with
And
that
then
computer.
I left Germany because I got a grant to attend Empire State College, so I moved here, and the rest is just history. One thing led to another. And I've met wonderful people like you and Joy, and it has been a wonderful journey, and you could not make me stop
So
singing.
what would you tell the young people who are interested in singing, but they say, oh, I don't have a voice, I'll never sing. What are you going to talk to the young people about?
Remember your childhood. Remember when you were this little bitty kid and you didn't care if...
That's your camera right there.
Remember when you were a child and you didn't care if someone saw you cry or if your nose was runny or you broke wind. Let that child loose so that you can sing with all your heart. Everybody that is famous is not a good singer.
I think we have a little clip, and I'm not sure if anybody can hear that, but I'm going to try to make it louder.
Follow your dream. Sing, sing, sing.
Where's my mic on that? Are we getting any sound on that? No? Is Robert in there? I can't get any louder than that.
Should I do who are those two singers? Lily Manilli?
Who's Lily Manilli?
Lily Manilli and lip sync.
Yeah. No, that I knew. But 3 more minutes. Okay, I'm going to just put this over there. Oh, I better shut it. What do you think is the most important thing for people to know about you and music, or the power of music, or anything related to that?
The most important thing for me is that I give of myself. I give of myself. When I sing, it's everything. I don't half step. I'm either going to do it all the way or I'm not going to do it at all, so that whenever I sing, it's from my heart and my soul and all my energy.
And now I'm going to put you on the spot. What is your most favorite song at this moment?
At this moment,
At this moment, yes.
it is Misty.
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 Oh.
Look at me. Look
Okay.
at me. I'm as helpless as a kitten up a tree. And I feel like I'm clinging to a cloud. That's
I
my
like
favorite
that.
song,
Beautiful.
Misty. Thank
Absolutely
you.
beautiful. I'm speechless. We have 1 minute and 55 seconds. I hope that our audience goes to the site to see Barbara Fairfax and goes to her YouTube site to see a little bit more about music, and if you have any questions or anything like that, you have questions about music or about singing lessons or anything like that, is there like an email where they can write to get information from you?
I'm at oma575@aol.com.
M as in Mary A, 575 at AOL.com, and you will answer music questions.
Yeah,
That's great.
Sure
I love
will.
that. Okay, so this has been a community television, and we have 1 minute and 15 seconds. I keep feeling like I forgot something. Can you remember anything? Anybody remember what I forgot? We did the disclaimer. We did the produced. And I would love to introduce you to the people who do the really nice music
I'd
shows,
like to meet them.
because you deserve a big studio where they can do, whether you're going to be your own show or maybe there are other musicians. That sometimes they even have, they have something called an open mic where they have one musician do something and then another musician. I like that.
That would be great. This is how it is. One thing leads to something else. So here I am with you having a wonderful time. I love your conversation and I love your stories, and God bless Daniel in heaven. He's watching over you. And I look at this as an opportunity that something will come of this. Something wonderful will come of this.
So.
And I
definitely
thank
hope
you.
so. I thank you because you're beautiful. Your music is beautiful.
Takes one to know one.
I'm just so glad. I'm so glad that I accidentally found you.
Me too.
That's a good thing. This is a good thing. I'm not,